Bipolar Ambassador John J. Jalango, back in it to win it, always letting you know about what's current and what you need to know, or always having something to say about the condition of bipolar, which is becoming a widespread, well accepted condition nowadays. But there are just some topics that I just want to let off my chest and just let you know what's going on, so you could just be a little more educated and help me be more educated by responding and sharing and subscribing and liking and stuff like that. All right, so for this moment I'm going to talk about family and bipolar. Now, no one should ever judge you in your family because of your condition. First of all, a healthy knowledge of the condition, a healthy knowledge of the symptoms, the signs, the preventative measures of incidences of mania or depression, all that should be researched constantly within the family. Someone with bipolar needs as much support, if not even more, than somebody who may have a physical condition like diabetes or cancer, because it's a disease nonetheless of the mind. Therefore, you have to take into consideration that this person is suffering, even though not visibly, but constantly. And it's something that has to be monitored through medication. You got to check your levels. Like if you're taking Depakote, if you're taking lithium, all these levels have to constantly be measured and checked out, because it could affect your liver, it could affect your thyroid. Too much, too little, it has to be regulated. Just like someone who takes insulin. The same thing with bipolar, it's as sensitive and as time consuming and as real as any one of these diseases that are out there. And I just want people on this channel, the Bipolar Ambassador channel, to share their experiences so we can take this thing forward and we can, move on and just like share our experiences and find ways of coping that we go through, each one of us. All right. Now, I was born into a family of six. I'm the last born child, and I discovered that I had something wrong with me when I was around 15 years old. Now, this was to the shock of, my family, because, at the time I attributed it to the separation of my parents. Now, having bipolar can be attributed by a lot of different things. There's a lot of generic um, as far as there's a lot of hereditary rather aspects to it, but there are also like environmental changes and occurrences, incidences that trigger the onset of bipolar disorder. And mine, in my case, I believe to this day that it will had to do with the separation of mom and dad. I know I don't want to go into that because that's kind of personal, but to me, that's what I thought, triggered at least an onset of making this beast erupt out of me. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things. Now, while I was going through these changes as my parents, separated, things begin to happen with you, and you begin to feel different. Your moods are changing. You're actually, one time you're very like rapid, you're having grandiose thoughts. All of a sudden you're reclusive, you're hiding to yourself, you're not saying much, and things are just going up and down. I remember when I was in Italy, I was going to an English school in Rome, and all of a sudden, I was on the sports team, soccer team, basketball team, captain of the track team, and all of a sudden I turned into this guy who would just ride the subways late at night, with a butcher's knife in his bag, and I was going to drug dealers who I never even knew nothing about, but I was going to them, I was engaging with them. I remember incidents where I got caught up with the police because I was trying to solicit drugs which I imagined I possessed in my bag, but I didn't really have. So you see, stuff like this can really mess with your mind because you're doing erratic things that are not like you. Why am I walking around with a meat cleaver in my hand like from a horror movie? You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. But you got to understand your emotions. You got to understand where that anger is coming from. And that's why your family has to know immediately what is going on with you. Now, for me, many years went by from the time I was 15 till maybe by the time I was 19, 20 is when my family started seeing like, this condition isn't normal, as in it's not just him growing up, there's something going on in his mind, that we have to address, and that's when support comes in. And it can be difficult if your family members are just thinking, nah, it's a phase, or he's just acting out. No, this condition is real, and it's as real as it gets. Just because I'm not ailing with a broken arm, or I'm not, you know, palpitating because my heart is racing, but the mind is an organ just like, if not more sensitive than your liver, your kidney, your heart, all that. So when someone is acting out, you have to see the telltale signs, and family is the first to know. So I urge family members with a bipolar um, child, or adult, or in the family, understand them, seek to expand your mind about the condition, seek to just go into their world and like see what they're going through, because they're suffering as well. And if not curbed, these emotions can be serious. Some people can be suicidal, some people can be very aggressive, but if you watch it and you monitor it, and you make sure that each one of the family members, at least who are responsible enough to do so, can watch the medication, can see that they're seeing doctors, can see that they're in therapy, can see that they're in groups, can see that they're getting their levels checked out. All these things contribute to a healthy bipolar functioning person. You know what I'm saying? So you have to watch all these things. So families, you're very important, to these lives. My family has gone through hell and back with me because, there are times when, let's say the person I'm living with, let's say that wife can't handle you anymore. She's like, you gotta leave. The family's the one that will fall back on, and I'm like, can I stay with somebody? I'm like, can I live with here? Can I live with so and so? And sometimes families don't want nothing to do with it because they figure out you're grown, but if you have a supportive family, like, thank God I come from a very supportive family that even when all has hit the ground, and as the chips have fallen by the wayside, they have been there for me, and it has helped me to grow and manage my condition better as I grow up on my own, to be more functional in society. So your family, your wife, your father, your mother, your brothers, your sisters, family can be friends, because I've grown to learn in this work and in this walk that family just doesn't entail blood brothers and sisters, or parents. You can have close family uncles, who are, and, friends who are deep and close to you. They have to be aware of what you're going through. They have to be aware of your condition. And please, don't be ashamed to say that you're bipolar. There is nothing wrong with that, It's just society has to change its perception that mental disorders are as real as physical ailments, and that's why this channel is there. It's for me, but it's also for you, and more importantly for you, so we can all come together and take this forward, and just, I say too much, but one day this channel is going to blow, and it's going to be big, and these are the grassroots, these are the stems, and I want you all to be with me when we are all taking this march forward for bipolar, and we're sending, like aid to Africa, not for AIDS, but just for mental disorders and bipolar in particular. So that being said, I just want to say that family members have to be involved. Just take an interest to learn, to read, share, because the bipolar person is very fragile because they have extremes, and sometimes you can't really read them, but understand their medicines. Learn about your medication and learn about the side effects. Know when you have to go get a new level test, know when there's new medicine that's come out, and just attend groups, attend therapy, focus with the psychiatrist. All these things are really important. So I figure that if you're in a family and you know that you're bipolar, maybe you've never revealed it to your family members, reveal it to them and let them in on everything, or that support person, if it's your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, just get on a one-on-one basis with them and just let them know what's going on and see the support that they can offer, and just get them involved, so when you get into that hospital or you get into that low or you get into that high, they're prepared and they won't just think you're acting out. They'll understand that you actually are ill and you have a condition that needs severe and serious attention. You know what I'm saying? So just take care of that, and yeah, just focus on that, and keep in mind all that you've learned, and never take it for granted, and just know that you're a special person inside, and you're beautiful. Yeah, that's me trying to do my little thing there, but you are beautiful, and let no one tell you different. It's just a condition, and it can be managed. So again, in the comments below, let me know what's on your mind. Talk to me. Let me talk back to you. And let's get this Bipolar Ambassador channel kicking. All right? Yeah, we got to do this. So I'm trying to put out my videos, Soon I'm going to start telling you about just things that I do to relax me, like meditation and chakra balancing and stuff like that, prayer, stuff like that, and just going out for walks and exercise and all that good stuff. All right, so I got to sign out right now. Peace and love. Know that you are beautiful, and you can do all things. All right, so don't forget that, and keep family close, and families, take care of those with bipolar. Get into their mind and get to know them. They're suffering too, and they need attention. All right. I love you all. God bless. Bye bye. That's when I thought I shut it off, but bye bye.